I want to talk about disguised capitalism masquerading as socialism, or the other way around, socialism that claims to be capitalist. Anyhow, I got a letter from IRS, and they wanted me to call this number and see. They wanted to verify addresses, and I called once, and then had to wait because I didn't have all the paperwork. I had to go get the paperwork and then call again. I had to wait a little while, and the lady came on and verified all this stuff. And then most of all, she wanted to check that my social security number and the address, that the correct address was there. It wasn't something else. Anyhow, I think that the U.S. government is going to engage in what Bush administration did. That's in issue some kind of emergency money drop-off, or like helicopter drop-off of monies to different taxpayers, because the U.S. economy is 70%, they say, consumption, and the best people to bring the money into the economy are the consumers. And I think they're going to engage in that because the stock market is really, for real, is crashing, and it would be a form of trying to rescue themselves. Anyhow, I had a video on psychic predictions for 2018. I only had two predictions for United States, and that's that the markets will crash, and many U.S. politicians, either in mass or individually, they will get assassinated, and both of them are coming through. Even though it took a while, I was just kind of wondering why it took so long. But I think they're opening up indictments for many U.S. politicians. I don't know how things will play out, if the deep state will assassinate Trump, and then the other part of the U.S. military, like Pentagon, will have an open coup, and how this playbook will play, or what's already happening is that the most corrupt representatives of the deep state are getting nabbed, or they pass away timely or in an untimely manner. I think the most notable ones were Senator McCain and George Bush Sr. Well, he was pretty old. I don't know, but I don't know if his death was natural. It's something to speculate on, because he was pretty much a senior in the deep state. I never liked any of the Bush family politicians. They are extremely warmongers, and I also have suspicion of maybe George Bush Sr. did something very bad. Well, he unexpectedly at the time won the presidency against, I think, Carter, and then after him, I think was Reagan. I think Trump adheres more to Reagan. I don't know. He was a CIA director, someone of very shady quality. At the time when the elections were being held, it was very much a 50-50 proposition. and I don't know, maybe he did some stuff that was illegal, and then what he had done stayed on the books, and then later stages now it's coming up to the surface. I don't know. Maybe he died natural death. Well, I could speculate if I want, but the indictments they seem to be rolling out, and there is good reason to believe that they will roll out soon because the new Congress is here. I was listening to one of these guys. He was a former CIA or something like that, and he was talking about 45 senators and congressmen were confronted and forced to not seek re-election. So there is a lot of stuff going on behind the scene in the U.S. government that this system is, I think, the whole thing is gonna implode, not just some. Uh, I don't know. Well, there were a lot of comments by Trump. There was a video he showed himself with many U.S. generals. Um, I think things will turn pretty sour not too long in the future. Um, well, I usually go and read Etelat, which is the Iranian national newspaper. On the Etelat, I saw on top that put the letter Q for the email Q at etelat.com, something like that. I thought that was very strange. And then also that Khomeini was saying that the U.S. government does not support Saudis, which is a very strange statement. It's like the Trump administration is going behind backdoor channels and making contacts with the Iranian government and privately asking them to help them divest from Saudi Arabia. I think both of those things were very strange, very unusual statement. Then also I do think that there will be helicopter money, and this is what would fix the economy for a little while. It's like injection of heroin. But the good thing about this is that in the past the U.S. Always pump up the rich, and Trump is try to kind of give the corporations and the wealthy, the bourgeoisie, huge tax breaks, and but you can only pump up the rich so much, and also the money does not filter into the economy and becomes a warehouse, and then it really doesn't create any inflation. It's bogus. But this other method of socialism in disguise probably will work a little better because the money is just in the hands of just about anybody. Other stuff that I think the Trump administration is trying to kill the U.S. economy. Is not helping the U.S. economy by sanctions, damage tourism, damage relations with foreign countries, and they are in mass or in totality. The foreign economies far surpass U.S. It damages many sectors in the U.S. economy, which is already very weak. Also, tariffs that he wanted to impose, I heard that he's backing out, also damage the economy of any kind of person, poor or middle class. and they have to pay more for the same stupid stuff. There is no reason for it. If he wants the stuff manufactured here, manufacturing has changed. It has to go to robotics and AI or 3D printing. It cannot be the kind of manufacturing that we had in the 50s or 60s. And there are no political solutions. The only solution is kind of encourage manufacturers and go more high tech. I don't know. The other thing that the Trump administration does that damages U.S. economy is continue to allow zombie companies to get all these loans and continue to stop the stock market from sliding down, because the economy is unable to restructure. It's like somebody who's almost dead and life support, and some doctors are very aggressive. They pump this person with all kinds of drugs and use artificial heart, artificial lungs to keep just pumping him up and keep going. And it's not really a life. It's not really. There is no hope for it to for this person to survive or have any kind of meaningful life. Many of these companies, they're zombie companies. They don't manufacture anything. They don't add wealth to the economy. They have a very big name, and that's how they keep going. Actually, many of them, they don't produce much yield for the value of their stock, because they've been buying their stock. And I don't know. I think that what will happen is, despite all the efforts, the stock market will crash very bad, and then other sectors like real estate, they will totally implode, and well, tourism is dead. So this will give a chance to people or to the government that is spending all this money to do other things. One of them is helicopter money. Well, at least the helicopter money, at least everybody will get it, and it's saving the rich is not a solution. The problem that the American economy, American people have, is that they are so fixated on capitalism, on a dead economic system, and they are unable to look beyond these things. There is some stuff in Sufism or in Islamic literature that kind of hints at these. On many Sufi temples, on the top is written, Alaika Be Ghalboka, to you a return to your own heart, to you a return to your own money, to your own needs of what you need to manufacture, to you a return to taking care of everybody instead of taking care of the banks and the bourgeoisie, to you manufacturing with robotics and AI, but manufacturing stuff that we as in the United States, according to our culture, we want those things. To you having access to cheap money and spending it on industries that are not zombie industries. Well, these are great ideas, and despite what Trump does, I think the economic flow is going to go there anyhow, regardless of Trump. Or I think that what will happen is that Trump is going to get blamed for this crash, even though he did almost everything that he could think of to stop it. He also did many things that accelerated it, going by wrong economic models. Anyhow, thank you for being in my YouTube channel, and please subscribe and make sure you leave comments. I would like to hear from you.